Good evening on a Tuesday night. I'm so glad to be with you all. I have some great cards to show you tonight using the Rhino Ready Bundle. That's one of our new online exclusive sets. This set is so cute, great for kids, teenagers, young adults, people who love zoo animals, any of those. And I'll be showing you 3 cards tonight. And these 3 cards you can get as an online class to go. In order to get the online class to go, you need to place an order with me by Saturday. I'm extending it a day because I'm a day late getting started. So I'm excited. As you can tell, I'm a bit disheveled tonight because it's been a crazy weekend, a crazy week. More about that as we stamp because I'm excited to stamp with you, but I haven't even had a chance to hardly eat dinner or freshen up or anything. So you get Judy in the raw tonight. I'm just letting you know. So it's okay because I am here to show you stamping and not talk about myself. So hi, Roz. Thanks for joining us. So here we go. As I was prepping tonight, I just people shooting me messages. I have messages, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to turn these off so I can focus on my friends out there in Facebook world, and we can make some Rhino cards together. So thanks for joining me. I have some woo-woo news. Are you ready for my woo-woo news? Today, because my friend Mary Ostrich placed a Stampin' Up order with me, I broke my $200,000 in career sales. That happened this afternoon, and it could not have happened at a better time because I had not a great day at school today. So, yay! I'm so excited. I have to celebrate myself because I don't have an upline person, and I don't like to brag to my team. So I'm just celebrating with me. So if you guys want to congratulate me out there, I would love to hear your congratulations because I'm super proud of that achievement. Okay. So thanks guys. How about we get started on some Rhino cards. I have 3. Hello, Renee. And we are just going to turn the camera down and around. So give me a second. You know that this is never an easy process, but it's been easier lately. Do you guys remember the times when my phone fell on me and all of that stuff? It's kind of crazy. Okay, so here is my host code for this week. HUXQTGNS. HUXQTGNS. Okay. You would go to my Tuttle Up shop. You would use the host code, place an order of $50 or more, get you a free embellishment package from me. But a $35 order would get you a kit to make 6 cards, 2 each of the 3 designs that I am making tonight. Thanks, everyone. You're all so sweet. Okay. So my first card is using the name of this paper has just escaped me. But it's the safari paper that we have in our mini catalog. Let's see if I can look it up real quick. So it's neat paper because on one side it has a flat finish and on the other side it has a metallic finish, like an animal is what it's called. Fitting, right? And do you notice this little radiating stitch on that rectangle? That is another new online exclusive set. It is a set of dies that are called Radiating Stitches. And you get 3 rectangles, and these rectangles not only cut out the rectangle, but it cuts these little radiating stitches out from it. We're going to use those a couple of times tonight. It's so cute that you even get a heart and a couple of circles. I did not use that this time tonight, but I have used them in the past. So that is fun. So here we go. We're going to start with, this one is super easy, okay? We are starting with, I have an extra label there for some reason. Let me put that back. a thick basic white cardstock. Like I said, this first one is the easiest. Thick basic white, cut 5.5 by 8.5. Yes, animal. It's called Like an Animal, Roz. Thanks. And scored down the middle at 4 1/4. Then I took some smoky slate cardstock and I ran it through my embossing machine with the Radiating Stitches Dies. So I'll show you. I cut this 4 by 5 1/4. I laid this on top. I ran it through, and that's the way it comes out with those stitches around. It just gives such a nice, fun texture to the card, okay? So I'm going to adhere this onto my card front here. We're using some seal. And then I chose the zebra print. Now there's lots of fun prints we could have chosen, but that's the one I chose. And this is cut 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm literally just gonna glue. Now you can see the back side of this is also zebra, but it's a flat image. And so that's what all the papers are. There's of course, a cheetah print and almost a snake-like print. There's a scaly like fish print. And so I'm going to adhere that going down right there on my paper. Okay. And then I cut a circle from my dies that are the stylish shapes. And this looks like a 2.5 inch in diameter circle. And on this circle, I'm going to take my smoky slate blends, and I'm just going to make a little bit of a shadow towards the bottom here. And I'm just being sloppy with it, okay? I know shadows aren't always sloppy, but this shadow is going to be kind of sloppy. So it's going to go like that. It's going to be kind of a big shadow because, you know, hippos have some size to them, right? All right, so there's my circle. I'm going to go ahead and pop that up right here on my card. Thanks, Dana. I was a little late myself, Dana, so I'm just getting in on my very first card here. I've got thrown off everybody. So you guys may or may not know, our house went up for sale last Wednesday, and I'm retiring. My husband got a job at a church down in Texas. We are moving to the same city as my daughter and son-in-law and grandkids. We put an offer on a house down there last week, and they accepted our offer, which is super exciting. It's just a couple of miles up the road from where Kristen and Ryan live, and they accepted it. So we're super excited about that. Okay, I'm taking the Rhino that looks like he's running, but he's turning sideways, okay? And I'm going to stamp him in Memento Black ink. But guess what happened? Hi, Carrie. Oh, Judy. I'm Judy. I know you, Judy from Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm stamping the Rhino on a piece of Whisper White paper, right like that. And then I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to use light pale papaya and dark pale papaya. So I'm using light and dark smoky slate. Let's see if I can find my smoky slate here. Gray granite. What is this? It's light smoky slate. Dark gray granite. Dark smoky slate. There we go. And when I color this, so anyway, to make a long story short, we sold the house in just a few hours. It was very exciting. And then the buyers had to, I grabbed the dark instead of the light, had to pull out of the sale. So on Saturday, our realtor had to call us and tell us that our house is back on the market. And it was very discouraging. And since then, we've had a few nibbles, but not very many. And I think, you know, once a house is in this market, houses sell very quickly. So I think it's only been a week, but I think people wonder why it didn't sell or why it's still on the market. But I have faith that it will sell. We had 2 people look at it today that both liked it, but neither one of them's ready to put an offer in, which is frustrating. So we'll just wait for the right person who loves it that can put an offer in, right? Such a crazy system, the whole house selling business. Okay, so I'm just coloring this in with light smoky slate, my little rhino guy. And then I am going to color his horn with light pale papaya. And then I'm going to go back in with a little dark pale papaya. Do his cute little nails here in pale papaya as well. So now we're back to, we went from one day it's selling while we were out of town to now having to pick up in a moment's notice when somebody wants to come and look at the house. So it's tough. So you guys can be thinking of me through that process. There are a lot worse things to go through, I believe. So I'm sure we'll survive this. Okay, so I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. I'm going to pull it over real quick right here. And I'm just going to do this off camera so I don't get it in the way of you guys. But I can tell you Post-it note tape or some kind of washi tape or something is a big help when making sure the die doesn't slide around. Just going to tape that on, roll it through, and then we'll be ready to pop him up. I know, patience is not my middle name, Roz. My husband's like, you're making me crazy. And I'm like, I know, I'm making myself crazy. What's a woman to do? Okay, so I'm just going to pop him up right there. Remember, this is our super simple card. It's not really considered simple stamping if it has die cutting on it, but for some of us, this will seem simple. Okay, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back there. And I'm going to just pop him up right here. And then I've cut one of the small squatty banners from the Stylish Shapes. And I'm going to stamp this in dark gray granite. I guess there's only one gray granite, and it's gray granite, okay? So I'm going to stamp this close to the left-hand edge here. There we go. You're built tough. This would be cute for somebody going through a hard time, right? Come on, you can be tough. Toughen up. Or you're tough. You can get through this, right? I love it. Okay, I'm going to cut this side off right here, the other banner side. And then I'm popping this up right here on my card front with a couple of more dimensionals. Hello, Becky Phelps. How are you? So I was having a pretty decent day, and then I got an ugly letter from a parent that really kind of shook me up, and I spent about a half an hour after school in tears and talking to my administrator, and who's very supportive, but anyway, it was unraveling. But then I got a call from my friend Mary, who lives in North Dakota, and she placed an order that put me over my 200,000. So that was really fun. That kind of made up for the crud that I dealt with that parent tonight. So, I mean, It might have been one of the worst letters I've ever gotten. And, you know, I was cheerleading sponsor for 6 years. I got a lot of not nice letters. So that says a lot. That says a lot. Okay, so there's my card. There's card number 1. Super simple, fast. I love the Like an Animal Designer Series paper. Like I said, there's zebra, there's cheetah, I don't know, a giraffe-looking design. There's a scaly, like an alligator almost looking design. So super cool. Super cool. Okay, so that's card number 1. Let me put this stuff away. And I will get started on, I have one of my stamps like way over there. Get started on my second card. Put this down. Okay, now my second card, I literally made up after school today because I had a card that I was going to do with you, and then I felt like it was too close to somebody else's card that they had posted online, and so I decided to change it up and not use it. I will use it for club class tomorrow night. So if you guys are in my club, some of these cards will make tomorrow night. So I hope you're not upset that you're getting a sneak peek. But okay, so here's my next card. It is a fun fold card, and it opens like this. So this little fella is like going to the party, and this little fella is at the party and ready to celebrate. So I thought that was super cute. I want to show you how I did this. Let me take all my pieces out of here. I started with a piece of basic white cardstock, and I cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. So 2 3/4 and 5, I guess it's this way. I scored it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, okay? And then I'm taking it and folding it in half. I'm going to use my bone folder here. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself like that to create the fun fold. Okay, all right, like that. And when you're using thick white and you're doing fun folds, you really need to use a bone folder to get a really crisp edge on it there. Okay, now I've cut some other pieces. I have cut from my 6x6 paper packs in the colors. This is Evening Evergreen, so it is in the 6x6 in color pack that's gonna go away because those ink colors are being retired. Now, you guys know about the color refresh that is coming up pretty soon, and some of us are hoping that Evening Evergreen will stay, even maybe Soft Succulent. So when we say they're retiring, typically ink colors retire, but some of them might stay because they're doing a color refresh this year. So there we go. I put that on the inside of my card. This is Evening Evergreen 6x6 in color paper pack. Okay, and then on my front panel here, I'm using the Neutrals paper pack, and I cut a piece of soft suede, and I cut it 2 1/2 by 4, and it's going to go right on the front panel right there. All right. And then I cut a panel out of crumb cake, and I used my Stitched with Whimsy dies. Now, have you guys ever used the Stitched with Whimsy dies? They are super fun because all they do is put the stitching on there. So here's what they look like. And, oh, that's too big. I didn't use that size. I used the next size down. This size. I cut my paper 3 1/2 by 5. I just laid this on it, ran it through, and then it leaves that stitching behind. I love these dies too. Okay, this is actually going to be my card front. Now, I did the exact same thing with a piece of Whisper White, and same size, 3 1/2 by 5, ran it through with the same die, and that is actually going to go on the inside of my card. Okay, so I used the Whimsy dies for that. Now, what I'm going to do with this piece of crumb cake and you can see my shading here, is that I'm going to pull out my soft suede ink, and I am going, hi, Kathy, thanks for watching me from Florida. Tell Mary I said hi. I'm glad you're watching me tonight, and I'm just going to add just a little color around the edges here. I thought it needed to look a little more rustic, maybe. More safari-y. I think it helps the stitching kind of pop on that crumb cake cardstock. Okay, so there is that. That's all I need to do with that. Now, I've cut some of my die pieces here. I've cut a tree. I cut a tree top. This is all in the Rhino dies. A tree and a tree top right here. I'm going to put that right there. And then I cut a whole bunch of these like palmy leaves. I'm sure somebody out there is smart and knows the names of these fellas, but I don't. And I cut those and the treetop in evening evergreen, and I cut my trunk in soft suede, and I cut myself a party hat out of pool party cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to start putting this together. The tree, you really don't have to worry about all these branches. What's important is that you get glue right here on the tree trunk. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm not worrying about the branches because I'm going to put glue on my tree top here. Canopy, my canopy. Are you impressed that I know that word? Don't be. Well, I did take botany twice. I took it in high school and I took it in college. So I should know what a canopy is. Okay, and I'm going to have that hang over just a tiny bit, just so it's not so perfect on there. Okay, so that should hold that down. Then I'm taking 3 of these leaves and I'm just going to place them kind of down here at the bottom. You'll see why in a second. Oops, just dropped that right. There we go, and maybe one more here. All right, there we go. I'm going to push that to the side for just a second. Now, we're going to do the same thing. Thank you, Judy. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. She said some horrible, mean things. And you know, you really don't, this woman is someone I've never met in person before. And you really don't know people. You can't judge them. So I know she's dealing with a lot with her daughter. Unfortunately, school counselors can't solve everyone's problems. I wish we could. So here's one more in my bag right here. Okay, so let's talk about happier things like having $200,000 in career sales. That's pretty exciting. All right, so now I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White. I'm going to make sure my party hat stays right there. And I'm going to stamp 2 hippo images. I'm going to stamp the hippo that has the little bird on the back. He's walking to the party. They're going to the party. And so we'll put him right there. And then I'm going to stamp the other guy that's just going to be the birthday fella. And I'm going to stamp him right here. Okay, I'm going to clean those off. So a funny thing that's happened through this whole move is that I threw my chamois somewhere when someone was coming to look at the house. I threw them someplace to get them out of the way. You know how you do, like you hide things. I cannot for the life of me tell you where I put my, can't tell you where I put my chamois. So I'm using my old scrubber, which is just fine. We still sell them. They work just fine. Okay, so now, instead of coloring these gray like you normally would, I decided I was going to use soft suede. Dark and light soft suede. I'm still using the pale papaya for the horns, and I am using a pool party for the little birdie. Okay, those are the colors I'm using. So just like I did before, I'm going to do the whole rhino, the whole thing of rhinos in light soft suede this time. So I'm going to do the whole light color. In fact, I might use my bullet point. Something I learned is that if you outline the whole thing first, then you have an easier time of not going over the edge. Do you guys do that? It just helps me not go wild with my brush so much. I'm going around all the toes. So I'm outlining this fella. So in Stampin' Up, when you hit these sales milestones, they give you a pretty nice little bonus. So I'm going to use that bonus money when we go to Norway, which may be before the move or it may be after the move. We don't really know right now because we don't know when our house is going to sell. So it'll be a surprise. Will either be moved before or after. And when I say we moved, my husband starts in April in Texas, so I'm staying here till the end of the school year. All right, so how's this affecting Stampin' Up with me? Well, I only have one big event coming up. I hope that you guys can help support me with it because it can be done from anywhere in the United States. It's a bingo Zoom night. Now, some of my ladies are coming to my house in person. It's on Friday, April 13th. And my original time was 7, but that's because I thought the next day was Good Friday. And guess what? The next day is not Good Friday. So this is my light soft suede. And I'm going to fill it all in. So I decided to change the time till 6. So we can play bingo, stamp, and be done by 9 o'clock at the very latest, I hope. We're going to be using the Sweet Citrus stamp set and dies. You will need the stamp set to complete the cart. Some of you out there already have it. So if you'd like to come do bingo, all you would need is the bingo fee. So if you're on my email list, you will get a link to register for bingo night. And if you're not, you need to be. Because that's where I give out lots of cool information about my classes and things coming up. So, okay, now the rhino's horn. It's going to be light and dark pale papaya. So it'd be fun to have so many of you come to bingo night. We do it via Zoom if you live out of town. Like I said, some of my ladies will be coming in person here at my house. And it's my last big event, probably at least until the end of June, I would think. Because I'm going to have a BOGO sale. I always do that. But my house, I don't know what's going to be going on with my house. So I can't plan anything. Which you guys, if you know me, is killing me. Because nothing I love more than planning Stampin' Up parties. But it is what it is, and it's only temporary, and it's only a season, right? There's a season to celebrate and a season to mourn, and that's kind of what I'm going into is my season to be, I guess it's bittersweet, really. There's a lot of good things that will come out of it. So, all right, so here is my rhino with the bird. I'm going to put that die on him right there. And then here's my rhino that's going to be the party boy. And I'm going to put a little piece of tear and tape on him to hold him in place. And then I'm going to run this through. Yes, absolutely, Kathy. And, you know, in the scheme of things, you know, I had a friend who lost her husband last week to a heart attack suddenly, unexpected. You know, in the scheme of things, you know, there's a lot bigger things to be concerned about out there, right? Okay, so there's one rhino, two rhinos. Here's his little birthday hat. I'm going to put that aside because it looks nasty. And put my dies up over here temporarily. Okay, I'm going to come back to my pieces. This little fella here is going to pop up right on top of those little leaves. He's sitting on his little throne. Here we go. And he's going to go right there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the top of his head and add his little party hat. Is it weird that my rhinos are soft suede? I kind of liked them in soft suede, actually. And if I remember at the zoo, I feel like some of the rhinos, these are ones that have been playing in the mud. How about that? All right, and then this rhino in the bird is just going to pop right up there on those leaves. And we're going to use dimensionals again. Yeah, they're standing on them. It's like their little walkway. I should have said that, huh, Kathy? Okay, so this little rhino is going to pop right on those, right there. Cute. Okay, then I only need one more thing, and that is my words. And for this one, I am just writing two things. And I want you to look at my original card. My original card I had to cover with this square piece right here. Do you know why? Because when I stamped, I made a mess. So we're going to hope this time that when I stamp my Evening Evergreen words on my Whisper White insert, I don't make a mess. But if I do, I obviously, okay, I'm going to test it somewhere. Maybe right here. Yeah, it looks good. So the reason why I messed up is because my ink pad was dry. So when I went to stamp, it was not pretty. Okay, so hope your birthday is wild. And then I'm going to cut a piece of Whisper White here. I'll do that in just a second. And on this piece, I'm going to say it's a great day. It's a great day to go to a party. Okay, there we go. Perfect. I like when things happen perfectly on Facebook. So let me get my paper cutter over here. So Buster, the Cocker Spaniel, my dog, is underneath my desk here. And those of you who come to my house for parties know this dog can snore. And I don't know if you can hear that on camera or not, but he's pretty loud. All right, so I'm going to catty corner this side. I'm going to straight cut this side. And then this baby went right up here at the top. And I did it flat on my first card, but I think I might pop it up this time. What do you think? Well, thanks, Ross. I thought that was true, but honestly, I wasn't 100% sure. It's just flying by the seat of my pants. I know that shocks some of you that I do that, but sometimes I do. Okay, and then I'm using our rustic metallic dots. These have been in the catalog for a couple of years, I think. So I don't know. That's what I said, Jenny. Maybe they were having fun in the mud before they went to the party, and rhinos don't care if they're all muddy or not. Okay, so I'm putting a couple of these rustic metallic dots on my card, and I'm going to use a small one here as well. Maybe right there. Woohoo! Don't they look cheerful? I needed some cheerful cards tonight. Okay, so let's go back to our card base, and I'm going to start by, Okay, I decided to do this differently. I'm going to start by putting this one on the inside. Okay, it's going to go right there. And I'm doing it flat. There we go. Fold that up. Now this one is going to go here on the outside, but I want to line it up with the white because I kind of don't want that white to show until you open it up. So it looks like that looks pretty good. I'm going to put some dimensionals on this end right here. Thank you guys. I totally, like, last minute said, you know what, I think I'm just going to make up my own card here and use those whimsy dice. So I'm glad you like it. You know, I think if I worked for Stampin' Up! And they gave me 10 weeks to create a card, I wouldn't be able to do it. If they gave me 30 minutes, man, I could whip those babies out. I find that I work well under pressure. Okay, I didn't get that quite lined up well. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit here. Oh, Judy. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. There we go. Here it's a great day, and you wonder, why is it a great day? Because we hope your birthday is wild. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that is card number 2. All right. Now, one more card, and it's worth the wait. So let me put these cards away. Let me do a little organizing here of my stuffs. And I will pull out my card number 3. Now, card number 3 uses a color called Cajun Craze. I would not be super shocked if Cajun Craze does not come back. I love Cajun Craze, but I don't use it as much as I should because it does definitely have a fallish kind of feel to it. And so I do use it in the fall, but not really. Hi, Mary. I was just talking you up that your order's the one that put me over my $200,000 mark. Yay! So, thank you, Mary. I am so grateful for you and your spirit. Mary lives in North Dakota. I think she found me online, but she's been so sweet and such a great customer. Okay, so I want you to look here. This piece of cardstock, it doesn't really matter how big it is as long as it's bigger than the dies. So the radiating dies not only put those little tick marks around, it also cuts out around the outside. But this piece ends up being a little more than 2.5, like 2 5/8 by a little more than 4, okay? And then I took a piece of white paper and I'm just going to, and what size is the white paper? 2.5, I think. 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and I'm gonna adhere this Cajun Craze smaller rectangle made with the radiating dies, and I'm gonna just mat it on the white just to help it pop a little bit. I think it also helps those like tick marks. Now, this piece of paper, Mary, you should know this, is a piece of paper from that Delicate Desert DSP. And again, it's hard to tell, but you can see it in person better. But I use those radiating dies, and this is the largest rectangle. And I am just loving the look of this, you guys. I am glad I got it. So if you don't have these radiating dies yet, go to the online store. This is an online exclusive. So the things that are online exclusives, you will never see in a catalog. That's why they're called online exclusives, all right? They come, they'll go. Some will come back, some won't. Some will sell out, some will return. It's just how they're going to work it, okay? Now, so this is that Delicate Desert Designer Series paper cut with the Radiating Stitch dies. And then I'm going to just pop this piece up right on the front, okay? Now, every time I set out like 3 different dimensional sheets, so I won't lose them, and every time I just throw them everywhere. Get to talking. Okay, and so this one's going to go in the middle. And I've got another online exclusive to show you. So these cards are using 3 different online exclusives. The Rhino Ready Bundle, the Radiating Stitches Dies, and we are also going to use, let me put this aside for just a second, the Tropical Leaf Stamp Set and Punch. Okay, Tropical Leaf Stamp Set and Punch. So I'm stamping my leaves, and I'm stamping this larger leaf right here and the larger stem right there. Okay, so let me put this on a block. And my stem is also going to go on a block here. Let me move some of my stamps from my previous. All right. Here it is. All right. I'm going to use those 2 things. Now I'm going to stamp my leaves in Pear Pizzazz ink. I'm going to get some cushion over here too, since these are photopolymer. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to stamp my leaf in Pear Pizzazz 3 times. 1. This pad, these foam mats with photopolymer stamps really make a difference. Okay, there's 2. And I don't know if I can fit that in there. I'll get another piece of white here. It's not worth it to scrunch it. There's 3. Okay. Don't those look a nice, crisp little, some kind of leaf? I don't know the name. All right. And then I'm going to get my shaded spruce here. And I'm going to stamp the veins on each leaf with shaded spruce. So there's 1, like that. Here's 2. And then there's 3. I'm going to punch them out with my new Tropical Leaf Punch. So if you guys haven't bought these, I hope I've convinced you that they are pretty awesome. Can't wait to play with this Tropical Leaf stamp set soon. All right, 1 more here. Here we go. And then I'm going to take my Rhino again that's sitting like the king of the party, and I'm going to put him right here. I'm going to quickly color him like I did the others. I'm going back to, though, gray granite this time. There you go. I knew Roz would come through for me. She is good with those plant names. Do you see those plants very much in Florida, Roz? Okay, so I moved to great granite. I'm gonna have to use my brush tip here. That bullet tip was not working so hot. And you know, this is not my favorite way to do this because I usually like to outline. We'll do our best. All right. My mom used to say that the only way she could keep me quiet as a child is if I was coloring. So she bought me a lot of coloring books. I think I was a hyperactive child before we knew what that was, really, you know. And they didn't know what to do with me, so they threw coloring books at me, and maybe, you know, that has a lot to do with why I love to paper craft so much. I would guess. Okay, I'm doing some of the shading here around his little head, where shadows might be. Okay, and then, you know, I like to go over and light again a little bit. Kind of blend it all together. There we go. And then let's pull out our pale papaya again. Now we could have done his horn. I could have done his horn maybe in Cajun Craze. I don't know. I didn't think about that. I think the pale papaya will look good with the Cajun Craze, actually. And then a little dark here. There we go. I'm gonna roll this through. I still have that Post-it note tape from the last time. And then I'm almost done. It's gonna come together very quickly. Okay, so here's my rhino. Here are my 3 Monstera leaves. I don't know if I'm saying Monstera leaves. Monstera leaves. Okay, so here is my card front. This card was completely inspired by one from Brian King. I don't know if you guys watch Brian King, but he is one of my all-time favorite. I did change a couple of things up to make it my own. But he's one of my favorite paper crafters, and I think someone told me that he was once a graphic designer, or maybe he still is a graphic designer. So I really like the clean look of his cards. Okay, so here's the third one. They're gonna all kind of go out like that. This rhino's gonna pop up here. Right in the middle of those Monstera leaves. Right. You know, before I do that, though, hold on. I want to stamp my sentiment here. And I'm going to stamp the words, "You're stronger than you think." I like that sentiment. It's what I kept telling myself today as I'm reading this letter from this parent that was not very nice. You're stronger. You're stronger than she knows. You're stronger than you think. We all need people to, if we can't say that to ourselves, we need people to say that to us, don't we? Okay, so I'm going to just cut the edge off of that. And I think I have my Taylor tag punch. not seeing it sitting right here, so I'm going to use this triple banner punch. Push it in there, get a good banner edge on it. Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go. Always something. Okay, this is going to be glued right here on the front. You know what? I think I might want to do that one more time. Here, maybe if I flip it upside down, it'll be easier for me to see. It just seemed a little too long, so I'm going to take a smidge off again. There we go. Move it a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to adhere this flat to the front. There. And I'm going to adjust my Rhino kind of around it. Right there. And then I took some of our gold pastel gems. Pastel gems. That's my dog honking over here. There we go. What do you think? So my 3 cards for tonight was this one made with the Cajun Craze. This one made with the Whisper White and Smoky Slate. And then this one is the Flip Fold, Fun Fold card. It's a great day. Hope your birthday is wild. So I hope you guys love those. I hope you love the Radiating Stitch dies that I showed you. All the dies that go with the Rhinos and our new Tropical Leaf Punch. Thanks, guys. And I'm going to lift it up, flip everything around. Thank you for being patient with me and for letting me come on a night late. If you would like to get this card kit to go, you can go to TuddleUpShop.com. Use host code, I'll hold it up here, HUXQTGNS, and I will give you a kit to make 6 of these cards for free if you spend $35 or more. So God bless everybody. Thanks for being with me. This is Judy Tuttle signing off from Lincoln, Nebraska. Bye-bye.